All right, we'll come to order and start the year's shortest council meeting. Good evening. This is council meeting number 22-24. It is Wednesday night, November 20th. We're meeting in council chambers at 5 p.m. Adjusted schedule and day this year so that we could get a majority of our councilors here and also to yield to an important committee at 6 o'clock. We'll start our meeting as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll go ahead and call roll. Maybe if we had a mic out in the audience there for one of our counselors. Just to establish who's here for the record, Councilor Pillsbury. Present. Councilor Lawrence. Here. Councilor Benoit.
Here.
Councilor Smith.
Present.
Councilor Pilch.
Here.
The Chair, John Egan, is here, and let the record show Darrell Fournier is here out in the audience. Thanks for making it, Darrell. All right, so just a couple of things this evening. We're going to hear official results of the election, and then the council will take up votes for council leadership. Those are the only things on the agenda this evening. This is not a typical council meeting where we have public comment and action items and other business and all the usual fun stuff of our agenda. So it's really just a formality for council structure and to get the year off to a good start. However, I did want to mention that very unusual circumstances, we actually have a vacancy on the RSU 5 school board, and per their state law, our participation as a member of the RSU, the council will eventually appoint a replacement to fill that vacancy on the RSU board of directors. Very important job, representing our community and our school children. And so we're trying to take nominations now. We're going to re-advertise to get more interested folks in joining. We have a couple of names so far, but it'd be great if we had a group to pick from. And those applications will be due here at Town Hall on Tuesday, December 2nd. Do I have that right? Monday, December 2nd.
Monday, December 2nd.
Monday, December 2nd. So after you finish digesting your pumpkin pie, you can think about signing up for the RSU board consideration. So the council will take action on that in December and hopefully get that vacancy filled. Also, an end of the year item, just as a reminder, for the 2024 Citizen of the Year. We have a whole bevy of outstanding folks that have contributed to town government and the benefit of everybody in our community. I'm sure each of us can think of a couple of names, so get the piece of paper that's available out in the hallway by the clerk's office and fill out your favorite candidate to be Citizen of the Year. The council will vote on that in the early part of 2025, and we'll have a really nice celebration of that. It's a great opportunity to highlight contributions from our fabulous community. So I'd like to call up Carrie Weeman to give us the, no, Chris. Oh, Chris is going to do it. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Hold your swear until later.
Too.
I missed that. So Chris is going to join us to give the election results official tally. Chris.
Hi, everybody. So I know some people only know who won this full election on November 5th, but for everyone that's been waiting for the town clerk's report, here we go. So we are welcoming Steve Brown to the board as our counselor at large. We're welcoming back Henry Chip Lawrence as our counselor for District 4. RSU board members were Kara Kaikini and Colin Cheney, both 1 seat. The sewer district, which of course was our big race this time, the winners were Molly Lincoln, Marissa Elliott, and Mark Gatsby. And then there was a water district write-in campaign, and Randall Nichols won with 15 write-in votes. So we're going to welcome him. Kind of the numbers for election. When we opened polls on election day, we had 8,293 registered voters. My registrar handled 270 new voter registrations and changes on election day. My deputies spent a week entering all those changes, and when we ran the numbers on the 14th, it actually only came 90 voters. So we ate a bunch and we lost a bunch. The number of ballots cast right now is like 6,264, 3,342 of which were absentee ballots. So running our percentages, that means that we ran a pretty average election with a 74% voter turnout, with 53% of them being absentee. So that was a little higher than normal, but we're definitely seeing that trend. As far as election day, it was busy, but it was uneventful. We had candidates at the polls all day long, and some of them waiting to see the tapes at the end of the night. We had representatives from the League of Women Voters and Democratic Party poll watchers there to observe. They asked great questions and observed no abnormalities, which is great. We were visited by an ADA compliance representative who inspected and made sure that our express vote machine was properly set up. We also had 2 voters this election that used the new accessible ballot. So that is a ballot that's utilized at home by people with print disabilities, and then their ballots are sent to us from the Secretary of State, and we hand tally them at the end of the night. So it's good to see that use of that program. We also had our normal petition gatherers and our sales in the FPAC hallway. We were lucky to actually welcome a few new election clerks to our roster this election. Carrie Weeman and Steve McFeeters did a fabulous job as wardens and kept everything running smoothly all day long. What I really want to express to the board is my appreciation for Isaiah Wilson for helping us for the 4 weeks leading up to Election Day. He was a quick study. Hold on, I'm in my car. Yeah, turn the car on. Sorry about that. He was a quick study and jumped onto the clerk's counter without any visible fear and made it possible for Carrie and I to conduct the election with the level of integrity that it's required of it. Isaiah was truly invaluable to us. We were also so lucky to have Robin Doak come back to Town Hall to help us. She was with me at all 3 of the nursing homes. She frontlined all of the early processing and then was with us at the polls all day long on Election Day. And lastly, I couldn't do it without my rock star deputy. And I just want to share with people that, you know, sometimes the clerks take a really bad rap, but Carrie and I do go above and beyond, and Carrie's the perfect example. We got a call right before the end of absentee voting. There was a voter at Maine Med who had been at the nursing home prior to going to Maine Med. He also was lastly registered in Orono. We were in the closed period. I had already absenteed the nursing homes, and this gentleman really wanted to vote. And Carrie packed up her stuff and left and went down to Maine Med and got this gentleman registered to vote and helped him process his absentee ballot. So those are the kind of stories that I also want the people to hear. But it was a great election, and that's my report.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'll read the motion to actually make that official, which is item number 253-24. Make a motion that the town clerk's report on the election be accepted.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Carries unanimously. All right, the next item and the last item that we're going to do is leadership for the council for the coming year.
Yeah, we got to swing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumped right ahead. We don't have to do that right now? Great, sorry.
I think I would defer to, how about separately?
Yeah.
Would you like me to take some pictures?
We have to seat our new council members, right?
Oh. Raise your right hand. I, William Stephen Brown,
I, William Stephen Brown,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall
so long long as I shall
continue a citizen thereof.
continue as a citizen thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do swear
I do swear
that I will faithfully discharge,
that I will faithfully discharge,
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
the duties incumbent upon me
the duties incumbent upon me
as a town councillor
as a town councillor
to serve until November 2027,
to serve until November 2027,
according to the Constitution of Maine
according to the Constitution of Maine
and the laws of this state.
and the laws of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So you're going to sign there. And you can take your seat.
Can we just stand real quick, because everything I have has Matt front and center. And something tells me he was Thank you.
Chip, please move that way. Can we do this just so everybody?
All right. Raise your right hand. I, Henry Lawrence,
I, Henry Lawrence,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I'll support the Constitution of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall
so long as I shall
continue a citizen thereof.
continue as a citizen thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do swear
I do swear
that I will faithfully discharge,
that I will faithfully discharge
to the best of my
to the
abilities,
best of my abilities
the duties incumbent upon me
the duties incumbent upon me
as a town councillor
as a town councillor
to serve until November 2027,
to serve until November 2027
according to the Constitution of Maine
according to the Constitution of Maine
and the laws of this state.
and the laws of the state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. Oh, no, do you think?
I do it.
We gotta wait. That's not. Mine you gotta come back.
Do you want a grip and grin? Is that what? It's a Navy thing.
All right, welcome our new counselors.
Before we move on, I just want to acknowledge our outgoing counselor as well. We've got Darrell Fournier, who is humble as always. And my guess is, according to Lori, if you add up all of the years of service that we have up here, you probably have worked for the town for longer than all of us combined. So I think that's worth noting. But honestly, I have a ton of respect for you and for the voices that you represent up here. We, I think, had far more common ground and things that we agreed on, but every once in a while we didn't agree on something. But I had a lot of respect for the way that we disagreed, and I will miss the opportunity to hear from you and to hear the voices that you represent in town, and I hope we won't lose sight of that going forward. So thank you for being a fellow counselor, and thanks for all that you brought to the council during your time here.
Completely agree. Okay, now we will move forward with item number 254-24, electing leadership for the coming year. The way this will work is we'll open the floor for nomination of names, get all of those out on the floor, and then we'll take votes on those names for both the chair and the vice chair individually. So that's not a slate, it is individual positions. And so what we'll start with is taking nominations for the chair's position for 2025.
I have a nomination to offer. There's a counselor among us who I think shows incredible aptitude, eagerness, and probably most importantly, willingness to take the job on. And I think I'm really excited about the energy that she'll bring to the job and the thoughtfulness and I think the respect. So without further ado, I'd love to nominate Councilor Benoit for chair for next year.
Okay, there's one name on the floor. Any other nominations for chair for next year? Okay. All those in favor of Counselor Joanna Benoit for chair of next year, raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we will take names for nominations for the position of vice chair. And we may have several names here, and so again, what we'll do is we'll get all the names out on the floor, and then we'll take a vote for each of those names. I would like to start by nominating Chip Lawrence to be vice chair for the coming year.
I'll second that.
I'd like to offer my nomination of Eric Smith.
I'll second that as well.
Any other names? All right, so we'll go ahead and take a hand vote. All those in favor of Chip Lawrence for vice chair for next year? That's 3. All those in favor of Eric Smith for vice chair for next year? 1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations, Eric and Joanna. We have elected our leaders for the coming year on the council. Any comments from councilors?
I have a comment before we adjourn. I have one more person I'd like to recognize since I'm on a roll tonight. I want to recognize the fact that you've led us through another year. It's not your first time at this rodeo. You've done it twice before in your 8 years as a counselor, and you came back for one more year to lead us. I know I have a tremendous amount of respect for you individually, for the job you've done, for how you've led the council. You were a great role model for me as I took on the role in the interim between your tenures. So I just want to say thank you for being with us, for taking on that job, for spending the time and showing that leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No secret at all. It's been the best thing I've done in Freeport in the almost 30 years that I've lived here. So it's been a fantastic experience. Looking forward to talking to Matt about occupying his chair down at the end down there. We can slide things along, Matt. And I promise not to be the cranky guy on the end.
You can't be.
So, any other comments? I believe that's all we're going to do this evening. Again, 19 minutes, the season's shortest council meeting.
And your tenure on a high note.
Take a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned.
Thank you, John.